Hello, welcome back to the Chelsea debate. I'm Don Toner. As always, Josh Langford with me. Josh, 2-0, we've just won tonight. First of all, we got to be buzzing with that because we're still unbeaten.
Yeah, no, thrilled with that. 13 points from, well, possible 15. So, no, it continues the great start and we're in the top four. So, yeah, buzzing.
Yeah, fourth today, jumped ahead of West Ham, and we're ahead of Liverpool as well. Let's crack on with the goals. First of all, it was Giroud, wasn't it? There was the incident where Tammy had to come off, first of all, with an injury, and we might touch on that in a minute with regards to how he got that injury. But Giroud was substituted on for injured Tammy, and he popped up with the goal, didn't he? But the credit's got to go to Werner.
Yeah, it was sort of an assist without, I mean, you won't get it on paper, but it was all him, wasn't it? Down the left, and then he made Kraft just look a bit silly.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, it fell to Giroud and a nice clean finish. So, yeah, no, brilliant goal. And it was good, to be fair, because I think the game was sort of, we were looking the better side, but we needed that goal. So, no, it was brilliant to get it.
Yeah, good for Giroud as well. He's not the most pleasing on the eye, but he gets the goal. So I think he's got the best game to goal ratio at the club. So you can't argue with that. He comes on the pitch, gets the goal. But then Timo in the build-up, like you say, it was all down to him. He's not a conventional winger, though, is he? In terms of what we see in Pulisic. But fair play to him. He was getting to the byline and putting it back. So I was happy with that. But let's talk about his goal because he finally got the reward. I think every Chelsea fan's just like, let's get it in. There was the moment before, do you remember, where he put it over the bar, and I was just like, it's not going to drop for him, but it did finally drop for him, didn't it?
Yeah, no, it dropped for him finally. I mean, he had a couple of chances before that, and I was sort of thinking, oh no, like it's just going to be one of those days. And it's funny because we've said it before, like he's contributing positively in every single way other than scoring. So it's been a frustrating run. But no, brilliant to stop the drought, and hopefully now that he'll kick on from there. I mean, I thought he had a good game, really good game.
Yeah, he played well. It was from a corner. Fair play to Mount. He put some good deliveries in. It wasn't his best game, but it's nice we don't just have to talk about Mason Mount for a change. But yeah, he put delivery in. I think there's a flick on. I think it was off a Newcastle player actually, and Werner just hanging around the back post, and he was sort of falling over, but he put it in. And like you say, that could be the confidence boost.
He got a little bit of luck in the Jamal Lewis had sort of gone to sleep and left him free. Yeah. But I think he's needed that, and I think that's actually the little bit that's been missing for him. He's not had that luck. So, no, like I said, hopefully that'll give him some confidence, and we'll see a hat-trick on the weekend.
Yeah, you can see all the players go over to him as well, though. Like, you can see how much it meant to him. But I texted you, didn't I, just before? Like,
yeah.
It's not going to happen for him, but I'm really happy that the manager's like stood by him, and hopefully we can see the sort of goal scoring. But even if he's not scoring and he's contributing like he is, I'm happy. Right, the other big talking point, and I couldn't believe it when I saw it when the teams were announced, but Kepa Arrizabalaga started in goal. First of all, what a decision from the manager. When you saw that, what did you think? Before his performance, when you saw that, honestly, what went through your head?
Balls and code Kepa. I was panicking, to be honest, particularly with Thiago Silva still out.
Yeah,
it was a concern, but I did just try and have a word with myself, and he put in a decent performance against Barnsley, a couple of big saves. So I can sort of understand it, and I mean he kept the clean sheet. It wasn't the busiest of games, was it? But he did make a couple of saves, and he was there when called upon, which is sort of all you can really ask of him. So, yeah, no, it proved all right in the end, but I won't lie, when it was named, I did panic.
I think we all did. Yeah, the two saves you mentioned, well, a couple of saves. The first one that sort of everyone's going to talk about is the Willock header. Sort of came in from the left, and a good header, and it's a reflex save, and that was good, and that will do his confidence. The other one, I don't know if people remember it as much, it was a free kick from Shelby. 30 yards out. Now, look, it wasn't one of those. It wasn't a Ward-Prowse free kick, let's put it that way. But it was heading in, I think. And not only did he get across, but what I liked about it is he got across, it bounced, and he was quickly on it. That's the sort of thing, the save's one thing, but can you quickly gather? I'm not a goalkeeper expert, and if anyone's like, see me in goal, they'll know, because at 5-a-side, I just stick a leg out. I absolutely hate it. But good confidence boost for him. And I'd just say, do you think he'll give him another game now? Because you see at Everton when they mix between Pickford and Olsen, and I'm a bit, it's confusing, and they were banging on about that in commentary. Like, you've got to stick with one goalie, do you? Or how do you see it?
It's hard, isn't it? Because with the history that Kepa's got at the club,
Yeah.
Mendy for me has been good recently. He's been keeping clean sheets and sort of doing what's asked of him. So it was a surprising call, but yeah, I think he'll start Kepa against Southampton just to sort of give him a little bit of a run. I mean, I don't know. I mean, we've touched on it before. Football's a business. Is he trying to give him a run, hoping he'll do well to move him on in the summer? You just don't know. All you've got to do, and I think, we're starting to get to a point where it's completely justified to say so, but we've got to trust in Tuchel, haven't we? He's not steered us wrong so far. His team changes. There's been a few team sheets now that we've looked at of his and thought, oh, wow. But he's got the results. So I think we just got to trust in the manager and see what he does.
I think you're right there. For me, I think it's just that resale value. Obviously, we're not going to get anywhere near what we spent, but I think we're just perhaps behind the board might be saying, look, give him a few games. And again, like with Barnsley, we knew he wasn't going to be tested heavily, but credit to him, he did well. And what I hate, I know I'm not nobody's Kepa's biggest fan, but I hate that he had to turn his notifications off on social media just because the sheer abuse he got. Now every player is open for criticism, and we've not actually recorded a video yet where we've been beaten. But don't worry, I won't hold back then. But you got to give him credit now, and we're in a really good period. Like, one more player I want to talk about because we don't want to go on in this video, but possibly my man of the match. I know Werner got it on the TV, but Mateo Kovacic, come on, give me some love because he was outstanding tonight. I don't know if you felt the same.
No, he wasn't he? I mean, I know sort of me and you, we briefly touched on it on previous videos, and me and you've definitely spoken about it sort of outside of this. And I've not always been the biggest fan of him, but I think the last sort of couple of months, under Lampard and then particularly under Tuchel, he's been fantastic, hasn't he? I mean, tonight, some of the quality of balls that he was playing. I mean, the incident that we will go on to it in a second where Tammy got injured, that was him. Nice ball over the top, and that could have very easily been an assist. It was just his overall quality, and I like that. He sort of picks it up quite deep, and he carries it, doesn't he? Like fetching carries it up the pitch. Yeah. He really is an integral part of this Chelsea team at the minute. And for me, we've talked about Mount a lot, but he's just as sort of undroppable, if that's the right word. He's just been really impressive. I'm thrilled with him, and you could toss a coin really with him or Werner for man of the match.
Yeah, come join me on the Kovacic love train because he's incredible. I will say one thing, that if he could just add the goal scoring to his game, people would be talking about him as a world-class player because everything else he does, I really want to see the stats from today because I remember off the top of my head several tackles, interceptions, like you say, that driving, up pitch, his dribbling, his vision. He's got a bit of everything. There was one, obviously we know he needs to work on his goal scoring, and there was one opportunity, Callum put it back to him, but it was on the bounce and he put it over his chance. But when you're playing with confidence, hopefully that can come, and he drives forward. He's got a bit more license as well if Jorginho's in there and the three centre-backs as well. So, yeah, absolutely love what he's doing. I know before we finish, you wanted to talk about 2 penalty incidents anyway.
Yeah, well, obviously I think everybody have been really disappointed to see Tammy go off injured early on. Yeah. And, it was a penalty shout, and sort of I agreed at half-time with Gary Neville, actually. From each angle, it looked different. The first angle, you're thinking, oh, great tackle. The second angle, you're thinking, like, that is a stonewall penalty. But the third angle that they showed, actually, for me, was quite telling. If he'd have played the ball and played the shot, he could have got a goal out of it, but he would have probably definitely got the penalty. But the way it showed was it really was an unnatural movement where he placed his right foot. Yeah, it was just disappointing, really. I don't like players looking for that. We spoke about it before. And obviously it resulted in him going off injured. So I just hope that's a lesson that he can learn from going forward, Tammy, really. Not to bash him, he's been good for us, but I was just a bit disappointed with that. And then obviously the second one, Timo Werner, was, well, I don't know how it wasn't a penalty when he was pushed over by Lascelles. It just looked quite blatant for me. So I thought Werner was really unlucky to not get a penalty as well.
Yeah, to be fair, it's one of those that does look worse in slow motion. I will say on the Tammy one, yeah, I agree with planting the foot. I'm more sort of concerned on his injury problems. At the end of the day, we won, so I'm not going to go overboard on penalty or not a penalty, but it's an interesting debate that the Abraham one that you mentioned. Perhaps we could discuss it if you want in future. The Lascelles one, I'm not too sure. I think if that was against us and you saw that given, I'd be angry. But he does definitely put the arm on the shoulder. So yeah, I don't know. It's subjective, isn't it?
Yeah, in past seasons, I'd agree. Like, you'd be angry if it was given against you.
Yeah.
But I just think this season, we've seen much softer penalties given.
Yeah, true.
So I was disappointed, with the way it's gone this season. I'm not saying I agree with that, but I just thought, in this climate, that was a penalty, and I'd have loved a 3-0.
Yeah. I was saying as well, is this going to be the game? When's the last time we actually battered someone? Because I can't remember the last time we put a lot of goals in. Obviously, Newcastle without Callum Wilson was rare. I'll say St. Maximin, I was really worried about him before the game. I don't remember him doing too much. I was concerned about. Asby tackled him a couple of times. Newcastle in worry of getting sucked into that relegation battle now. So I think all their fans are a bit concerned. So look, we haven't gone and beaten. I know we beat Spurs, but we haven't gone and beaten one of the big boys yet. But fair play to. Everything's looking good, isn't it? It's all rosy under the manager.
Yeah, no, it's brilliant. We're, still unbeaten, another clean sheet. And although I do agree, I do want to see us put a few goals in against somebody and beat somebody well. At this stage, particularly with how the league table is, I think the result's the most important thing. So, I'll take the 2-0 win. The biggest takeaway for me is Timo stopped his drought.
Definitely.
So, yeah, I mean, that's 10 for the season now, if I'm correct. If I'm not, shoot me. But no, I think he'll kick on from here, and as a team we will. And we're in the top 4 now, which a few games ago that was starting.
We've got to stay there.
Yeah, so it was starting to look like a pipe dream. And I do just want to point out, it's a shame it's not on a video that has been released, but I definitely called Liverpool not making the top 4, and you laughed at me. And just look at the league table now. So yeah, we'll see what it's like at the end of the year.
We will. Maybe we'll have to dig out that video and release it. But yeah, right. Southampton next, and then we've got the Champions League. Let's keep going. Let's stay unbeaten. We're looking solid defensively. Formation suiting us. Bit of a throwback to the Conte times in terms of the formation. But yeah, we'll see. So big thanks for all the support on the channel as always. Follow us on Twitter at Chelsea_debate and on Instagram _Chelsea_debate. But big thanks. We'll wrap that up there. But yeah, come on the Blues.